Yo, Joe. Talking comics, here's your host. It's A Real American Brian.
All right, we're back to continue our G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero read-through. And today we're looking at issue number 14. Herb Trimpe is back providing the cover art, and it is our first full look at Destro. We start off back at the bunker that is at the bottom of the river with Quinn, Dr. Venom, and Snake Eyes trapped inside. Dr. Venom is upset because he caught Snake Eyes tapping on the door, trying to signal the Joes. Quinn retorts, "What does it matter who gets us out? Your Cobra friends obviously aren't coming back for you." They decide to reluctantly work together to get out. Dr. Venom, in a fit of rage, attempts to attack Snake Eyes, but it does not go well for him. Quinn breaks up the fight, telling them again if they don't work together, they die. Dr. Venom makes a threatening statement about the plague toxin vial he has that Scarface only thought he was carrying in the briefcase. The Joes, back at the pit, begin to make some progress reading the microdot they brought back from Sierra Gordo. The Joes are able to get a map from the microdot, and when they display it on the screen, they can't believe it, and immediately contact General Flagg. Back in the Cobra headquarters, we see Baroness having a conversation with Destro about using his new name. For the first time, a relationship of some kind between the two is revealed. And in the last panel, we see Destro's face for the first time. Finally, after a couple of issues of shadowy cameos, we get our first full appearance of Destro. Dr. Venom opens the vents in the bunker and it begins to let water in. Back at Fort Wadsworth, General Flagg has arrived. Hawk shows General Flagg the map. At the center of the area is Springfield, Vermont. They have continued to hear Cobra link to a Springfield, so this seems like a jackpot. Cobra Commander discusses his plot with Baroness, confirming she left the microdot with a map to Fort Wadsworth on it for the Joes to find. Odd, since we saw they had a map to Springfield. Baroness confirms she planted it as she was instructed, and that Dr. Venom, Quinn, and Snake Eyes are dead. Seems there is a lot she doesn't know. We have Destro asking Scarface if he switched the dots, so it was Destro who sent the Joes on a path to Springfield. Back in the bunker, the water is flooding the room. Dr. Venom tells them he did it to equalize the pressure so that Quinn could then open the door. He attempts to talk Quinn into handing over his weapon and flashlight, while he goes down to open the door. The Joes begin putting a team together to head to Springfield. Scarlet, Breaker, Doc, Stalker, Gung-Ho, Grunt, and Zap will be in the rear of the personnel carrier. Clutch and Hawk will be in the driver's seat, and Rock and Roll will be manning the gun. The Joes drive the personnel carrier to the baseball field, where Wild Bill brings a helicopter to grab them and carry them away. Destro revealing more of his plan. He expects Cobra Commander to fly the rocket plane to Springfield and for the Joes to take him out, leaving Destro to take over command of Cobra. Scarface surprises Destro with the information that Baroness always flies Cobra Commander places, and she will be with the commander on this trip. Dr. Venom attempts to get Quinn to hand over his weapon again, just as he's about to go underwater, but Quinn refuses. Quinn dives down to attempt to get the door open. As the Joes are flying to Springfield, they feel something fly by them at a high speed. The supersonic rocket plane with Baroness and Cobra Commander passes the Joes and will be arriving in Springfield before them. We see the Arbco Furniture Company, and I believe this is the first time we get a Cobra anagram used. The roof of the furniture factory opens up so that the rocket plane can land inside. Destro has gathered some Cobra airborne troopers to help protect Cobra Commander, or so Scarface is told. We know he is really just trying to protect Baroness. Quinn gets the door to the bunker open and holds it for the other two men to swim through. As Dr. Venom passes, he hits Quinn with a wrench and leaves him behind to die. On the surface, as Dr. Venom and Snake Eyes begin fighting, they are surrounded by weapons. The mercenary group from the last issue reveal that they are Cobra troopers sent in disguise to help the Joes get out. But after the Joes left, they fell into several of their traps and got pretty tore up. Wild Bill drops the personnel carrier full of Joes onto the road outside Springfield. and Cobra Commander and Baroness have landed and enter a room with someone strapped to a table. They have the briefcase with the plague toxin and appear ready to use it on this man. The Joes outside Springfield have begun scouting the nice little town, and Dr. Venom attempts to plead with the Cobra Troopers, but they aren't having it. If Cobra Commander wanted him dead, they will bring him to the Commander and be rewarded for it. Destro has dropped in with the Cobra Airborne, and they are taking a shorter path across the fields to get to Springfield, before the Joes, who will go by road. Baroness and Cobra Commander intend to inject the plague toxin into this man and send him out into gijoe headquarters as a ticking time bomb of plague. The Joes have begun their move towards Springfield, heading for the furniture factory. The Cobra mercs in disguise reveal that they intend to have their prisoners walk to the airfield, and then they will kill them there so that they don't have to carry the bodies. Smart. The Joes and Destro and his troops are all approaching Springfield just as the plague toxin experiment is ready. The patient falls over dead, and Cobra Commander realizes that Dr. Venom lied to him and must have a catalyst for the toxin. As the Joes are close to Springfield, they are ambushed by Cobra troopers led by Destro. Cobra Commander is told the Joes are attacking, and Destro is holding them off with some Cobra troopers. Baroness and the Commander begin planning their escape. Hawk sees the furniture factory roof opening, revealing a missile silo. He calls the Sky Striker to have Ace wipe out the factory. And this is our first appearance of Ace. As the launch sequence counts down, we see all the groups in action. The Joes and the APC trying to get to the factory, Destro with his troopers holding them off, and Ace approaching the factory from the air. And just as the rocket plane gets away, Ace's missiles take out the furniture factory. Destro is carried away by his troops, happy that the Baroness got away safely. Hawk and the Joes realize that they are back to square one on their hunt for Cobra, and Sierra Gordo, Dr. Venom, tells the Cobras that Quinn is dead, but we see bubbles coming from the water. That is issue 14. We have some fractures in the Cobra leadership now, as Destro seems to have his own desires to lead, and Dr. Venom has lied to Cobra Commander and sees him as an enemy now as well. Snake Eyes is safe for now, but Quinn is still underwater. A lot has started to develop. My favorite panel from this issue is on the last page, Destro getting away. The rocket plane got away. The Baroness is safe. You did it, Destro. You saved Cobra Commander. Yes, that too. So great to see that relationship of Destro and like butting heads with Cobra Commander, but still staying kind of undercover and plotting from behind, I guess, to take over Cobra. This was another action-packed story told from multiple different perspectives at once, and I loved it. The backstabbing and plotting against each other on the evil side is great. I'm going to give this issue 4.5 flag points. I can't wait to see where we go from here. That is issue 14. Knowing is half the battle, and now you know. Subscribe so you don't miss out on the next issue where we dive into issue number 15.
So long from Brian. Until next time, same Brian time, same Brian channel.